Welcome to the Shoot Your Shots.
What up?
What up?
Wow.
It's all good.
Go ahead.
Welcome, everyone, to the Shoot Your Shots Scorecast. This is Richie Chicago, and I have with me Furious George.
What's up?
And Man in Michigan hat below me. This is the Shoot Your Shot Sports Pick'em Show, and this is sponsored by Thrive Fantasy, the daily fantasy sports app for player props. Make sure you use promo code FNFantasy when you sign up today, and they will match you up to $50 on your first deposit with a minimum $20 deposit. So check it out and stay tuned for our daily Thrive, not daily, but our fantasy Thrive picks for this weekend. All right, so I'll kick it off to you first, George, and let's get this going.
Yeah, so we have a real special guest to start off our very first episode. He's been featured on Frustration Nation with us. He was on a DJ Positive Beats one weekend as well. So we have Sir Yacht with us to pick all of our college football picks for this week's Scorecast. So Sir Yacht, do we have him ready?
Yep, he's actually in the room.
Awesome. Let's bring him on.
All right. Hey, man, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
What's up, champions? How we doing? Thanks for having me on.
We're doing well. As I said, we're thrilled to have you on, someone who needs no introduction, the person who single-handedly rose Big Ten football from the ashes, like the Phoenix, Sir Yacht. So today I saw you were saying something about Ohio State playing Alabama perhaps this weekend. What's the latest you got on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think my first tweet, which is like it's like, you put tweets in a thread and you list out the details because Twitter only has like a 240 character limit. The first tweet I had was some pretty terrible wording. So this is most likely not going to happen. It's kind of a long shot, and I explained it like in the second tweet I put out. I reread the first one and I was like, I kind of made it seem like, well, okay, so to be fair, I did say it's discussed. I didn't really say that. I did say there were some hurdles, but I made it sound like it was a possible thing. I don't think it would ever happen because the Big Ten, Kevin Warren, Nick's Nebraska playing UT Chattanooga. I think also Nick Saban is an absolute coward, and he would want to probably play someone like the Montessori of blind and deaf nuns
Citadel.
instead.
Yeah, Alabama never leaves the state, so yeah.
Some D4 high school team. I just, you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, he would. I don't think he would ever do that. But all I do know is since both their games have been canceled, that there was discussions. Now I've been getting destroyed online. So I haven't looked.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked too much. But I mean, wouldn't that be like the coolest thing ever if just out of the blue, Ohio State, Alabama played one? Is Ohio State 2?
3,
Or
I think.
3, 1 and 3.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be something?
The week after Clemson, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you already got Alabama and Georgia play. I mean, you've already had some big like top 4 ranked teams play. Like, so it's a pipe dream right now. They would have to decide by tomorrow. It's not. I mean, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
But all I said was they've had these discussions. But anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it would be great because there's not really any one good game this week for college football. Like, there's like nothing to compare to like Clemson and Notre Dame or like Ohio State, Penn State. There's not really any like good games standing out this week, and so that would really, really help. They'd get great.
That's the
ratings
thing
for
is,
it.
it's like I'm just thrilled that there are going to be games because there's a lot of cancellations, and Wisconsin might cancel their entire football season. I mean, you might have more games get canceled, like be announced to be canceled tomorrow. It's scary. And then obviously, I mean, here in Ohio, they might shut down restaurants and bars and fitness centers in a week or so. They're going to revisit it, but there's I'm just thankful that like even the MAC last night. I mean, that was. Kent State looked really good. I mean, I'm just thankful college football's on. So,
for sure.
Yeah, it might not be the best slate of games this weekend, but as long as we still have games, that's what I'm hoping for. But we'll see. Who knows? I mean, there might be some bad news for some teams.
Yeah, that's right. So then tell us also. I know last night you dropped a big single with your band.
Banger.
Thank you.
You want to tell us about that?
Yeah. So I'm in a group called Maui Ski Club. Started it in 2016 with my twin brother and a couple of my friends. working at it for a little bit. I mean, that's kind of why Sir Yacht came about. That was like my music, like stage name. And then I started making content. So yeah, we just we got a deal with a label, a small label out in New Jersey, called Water Sound Entertainment, and we did all this promotion and dropped it at midnight. And yeah, it's been doing well so far. And the big thing is you want to get it on like Spotify playlists and stuff. So the label submitted it to like 25 playlists. So we're hoping to get on like New Music Friday and like the big time ones on Spotify. Yeah, right. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean it's like all day. Like I've been traveling around Ohio. Like I do like Ohio videos for like TikTok and stuff. So I've been like going everywhere, and then between that doing promotion. So like I just got back into town like a couple hours ago, and I'm still doing the promotion stuff, but it's so much fun. Like content, music. Like if I'm working towards doing that full time in 2021, just being Sir Yacht full time. Yeah, that'd be the dream.
Sweet.
So yeah, we're working on it.
So does your twin brother ever like post breaking news under the Sir Yacht name?
Did he bring back the Pac-12? Maybe?
Yeah.
yeah. No, so he actually writes for a few NFL teams like
oh nice,
like an SB Nation. He writes for the Browns, the Dolphins, Panthers, 49ers, and he writes for a fantasy blog. I mean, but he's pretty good. He has like Steve Young and Ray Lewis follow him, and like a bunch of other prominent people. So yeah, he's cool. he kills it. Yeah, he's a little smarter than I am. But I guess I'm not afraid to do a little more and put myself out there, I guess.
So if you're a yacht, what would your brother be?
You know, I wouldn't say he's like some sort of like watercraft. It'd be just like another like badass like transportation vehicle, like maybe
nice.
Like a fighter pilot. Yeah, train, like a train. Mr. Train. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's yeah.
Well, let's get into our Scorecast, our picks. Sir Yacht, we're appreciating you coming on to talk college football with us. But Man Michigan Hat, do you want to run us through what the rules are for our Scorecast?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we've been doing, we've kind of been refining this. And so some of this we talked about on our last episode when this was still a Frustration Nation show. But basically, we're going to jump into the picks. And every episode, we make all of our picks for the big games every week, which will be like the big name college football games. And then we run through all the NFL games after. Okay, so the rules when we're making our picks, we each have to use a skip, which is, just 0 wins or losses. It's a game you don't want to play, don't want to bet. And then you also have one lock, which is worth either 2 wins or if you're wrong, 2 losses. Every other pick is just worth 1 point for a win or loss. And so we'll keep track of our records. With Sir Yacht being our guest, we'll have his records on file. But then for all of us hosts, we'll keep track of this throughout the season. And we're going to figure out what this will be. We're open to suggestions, but there's going to be some kind of reward, punishment, something
just the glory,
to make this
just the glory of winning.
Glory is good.
I think we need to get a trophy of some sort
that
passes around,
or
just
a punishment.
Send them like an email or something. Just congratulations.
You win.
Victory email. You win. Good job.
I like that.
There you go.
That's much cheaper.
Right. All right, so let's go ahead and jump
like
into
it. Okay.
So get ready for the best pick'em show out there. Inaugural episode, first week. Because unlike the other ones out there on the Scorecast, we will not ever be wrong. Right. That is a guarantee. Money back guarantee.
Can we talk about how Big Cats can't lose parlay, never wins?
I've actually won on one. I'm like, wow, this is great.
I'm just gonna. That guy, he won like once, but like that guy, I love him. He gave me a little shit for my stuff, like a little bit. I'm like, dude, you've never won a can't lose parlay. Like,
it's the easiest formula though. Like he just takes the biggest favorites and parlays them, like the money line. It's easy.
That's all I said. I love Big Cat. So I'm not,
it's great.
That's all shit back. But
it's hard to
right. He goes balls out. Like he doesn't pick the easy. Like granted, like it's a good parlay, but
well, unlike Big Cat, we will never be wrong.
That's right. You literally can't.
The can't be wrong parlay. There you go.
There you go.
Yes, exactly.
All right, we'll work on the copyright issues later.
Yes, cease and desist.
All right, let's get into our first matchup, which is number 2 Notre Dame at Boston College, and Notre Dame is favored by 13.5. So, Richie, you want to hit us first with what your thoughts are on this game?
Yeah, so I think since they came off the huge win against Clemson, I think Notre Dame's going to hit it. They're going to go balls deep, honestly. Notre Dame has allowed 14 or more points just twice this season. So I think as long as the offense scores at least 30 points, they should cover. So I think Notre Dame minus 13.5.
Awesome.
Yeah, this one's tough because I do want to give credit to Boston College. Like they've kept some games close against good teams like Clemson, North Carolina before that. And then there's always the question of will Notre Dame have that emotional letdown coming off this huge win? I don't have the answer to it. It's just a question. Right. But we will not be wrong. So I do think Notre Dame keeps their momentum, wins by at least 2 touchdowns because it's that threshold number of being just under 14. I'm a little more confident taking that. So yeah, 13.5. I'll take Notre Dame.
So yeah, what about you?
I was Notre Dame made me I have to consume a lot of chicken McNuggets because of them. Because I put out a tweet. I was like, yeah, if Notre Dame beats Clemson, I will eat a chicken McNugget for every retweet and like this gets. I think it's at about 3,000. I mean, it's a little over 3,000. So I got to figure that out. I'm trying to put on something for charity and have some people kind of join me instead because I think I'll die. If I do that. Yeah. But credit to them. They played very well. Ian Book looked very good. I mean, they were just I mean, I know they didn't have Trevor Lawrence, but DJ, however the hell you say his last name.
Galilei?
For Clemson. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be like, he's a stud. Like he was a stud. Like he killed it. So credit to Notre Dame. They played well and they took down, one of the best powerhouses in college football. I like them to cover this spread as well.
So as the resident Notre Dame fan here, I like Notre Dame carrying their momentum over, but I have flashes back to both of the past 2 seasons, and specifically the one I'm thinking of is 2018. They were having a really good run, came up against Pitt, and barely squeaked out a win, maybe by 2 or 3 points. And to me, going up against their second string from last year, Phil Yurkovich, who has a little bit of hard feelings towards Brian Kelly in Notre Dame, I have a bad feeling about this game. I think it is going to be closer than people think. And so for that reason, I think Notre Dame will win, but I'm going to pick Boston College to cover.
What a fake fan.
Yeah.
you jerk.
You probably don't even cry when you watch Rudy.
Yeah.
Okay, to be totally transparent, I'm a newer Notre Dame fan, as in since 2015, and I hadn't seen Rudy before then. And when I saw Rudy, my first reaction was, okay, so a run-of-the-mill sports film, which is probably slander.
No, it's pretty accurate.
But I mean, I like it.
True. It's true. Yeah. No, I love how everybody that played on that team gets really mad because they're like, this shit isn't real. It didn't happen. None of that happened.
The thing that I can't believe is Joe Montana was the quarterback of that team, and he's not even in the Rudy movie. Wouldn't you?
He's not even in the movie.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn was the guy that did that. Hey, go play. That was him, right?
Yeah, but Vince Vaughn isn't supposed to be Montana, is he?
Maybe. I'm not sure, but
the fact that you don't know is concerning.
You're right. Yes.
I just thought Rudy was here. I'm a newly fan, so
yeah.
The fact that it's not common knowledge, he's one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks ever. So it's just that movie. Yeah, that movie bothers me. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Our next game is number 9 Miami at Virginia Tech. And by the way, all these lines we're getting are from the ESPN app. Not a sponsor. But I couldn't believe that I saw an unranked Virginia Tech was given the favorite -2.5 over number 9. So I'm going to throw this one first over to Man Michigan Hat. What are your thoughts on this game?
I'm not the smartest guy in the world. And so when I see numbers like this, it makes my first thought isn't I'm going to get one over on Vegas here. My first thought's what am I missing? Um, so it feels like a trap a little bit.
I feel like that's a smart thing of you to say, though. If you were dumb,
Yeah.
you'd be like, I'm going to pick the spread, or you're not going to question it. That's a smart thing. I mean, you are wearing a Michigan hat, so I do question you, but
I can't be that smart.
Yeah.
Trust me, having to wear this hat is more painful to me than anyone else at this point.
Oh, no, you're fine. Hey, you got to rep. You got to rep.
Yeah. So it's just weird because Virginia Tech just lost to a school called Liberty, who they are good this year, but still
they are.
Yeah. So insert Jerry Falwell cuck joke here. But so I think Miami might be a little overrated at number 9, honestly. But I don't know how you're not favored in this game. So if you're gonna give me points, I'll definitely take Miami to win and cover.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump in here and I'm just gonna say, like, just again, there's something I feel like maybe I'm missing with it, but based on this line. And based on Miami being 9 alone, my logic, and this is why I'm picking it as my lock, that Miami will cover. So real quick. So this is our first lock of the night, and all of our locks are brought to you by the Shoot Your Shot Sports merch store. So go to shop.shootyourshotsports.com. Check out our latest gear, new hats, shirts, sweaters, mugs dropping often. So go there to lock down the gear of your favorite shows right now. So
I like that. That was a good one.
Thank you.
That was smooth.
That was very smooth.
I did not script it out.
Practice that in the mirror before.
Yeah. We're looking for lock in. Lock it down.
That's right. All right. Sir Yacht, Richie, who wants to go next on this one?
You can go, Sir Yacht. I'll go last.
Thanks, Richie. I hate to be a poser, but I'm gonna make this my lock-in pick too. It's just like it's so weird to me to be like Miami. I have Miami in the upset here. Like they're the 9th ranked team in the country. I know they're not like. I think they're a little higher than what they should be. I don't think they should be 9, but I just find it so bizarre that they're not favored in this game. So I'm gonna lock it in too. I have Miami money line and spread. I think they're gonna win this game.
Nice. Yeah. So do we have something if we have all the same pick, like a Quake or whatever? But it's my lock too. I think it's crazy that like they lost against Liberty last week. Miami does have trouble running the ball, but VT has a weird bad defense. It's horrendous. So definitely Miami plus 2.5 and a money line. So I think that's your pick.
Are you locking that one?
Locking up.
That's 3 locks on one.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like I should have locked it. Too late though.
We all like lose.
We all could be very wrong and be in a lot of trouble.
It makes me want to take Virginia Tech now.
That's the thing though. Like Vegas. I mean,
they know something. I feel like
they know something. That's why I'm like, but I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
Well, last week for NFL games, the top 4 most betted on games, like as far as where the money went, Vegas won all of them. And so, I mean, college betting is different, but yeah, it's just
they just know.
Damn you, Vegas!
It's amazing.
All right, so then we have your everyone's favorite Razorbacks against number 6 Florida, and Florida's favored by 17.5.
Yeesh.
So I'll start on this one. 17.5 is one of those things where it is a big number. And Kyle Trask has been looking good, and Florida looked really good against Georgia. Like, really felt like they kind of just beat Georgia's brains in. So it's hard to pick against Florida, but at the same time, Arkansas has at times this year looked, pretty decent, and 17.5 is just a big number. So simply because of the large number, I'm still picking Florida to win, but Arkansas to cover. I'll probably be wrong, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, then change it.
Don't
you want to be right?
I will be right. I will be right.
You can't be wrong.
There you go.
I can't be wrong. Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. I'm throwing it over to you, Sir Yacht, since you're mocking me.
Wow. I was just trying to help you out there.
I know.
I like Trask a lot. I watched Arkansas play against Auburn, and Auburn sucks. My girlfriend went there, and I've kind of become a fan by relationship, and that was just a miserable game to watch. Arkansas is not that good. Florida's played some pretty good competition and is held and done well. I like them to cover and win obviously, but I like them to cover as well.
Nice.
Go ahead, Richie. I'm still thinking.
Well, I don't know much about this game. I usually skip. I hate high spreads, honestly. So I usually stay away if it's more than 2 touchdowns. So I'm going to use my skip on this game. So, yeah.
Good call.
Dang,
Look at you.
I should have went
Genius.
first because I'm going to use my skip too. But now you have to do the ad read for our skip. So
We do an ad read for skip.
Yeah. Don't you know our skips are brought to you by
Oh.
Fanatics.
There we go. Thank you.
Fanatics is your one-stop shop for all your sports gear needs, so be sure not to skip out on gearing up for the season. Go to shop.shootyourshotsports, or not shop. Go to shootyourshotsports.com/fanatics and click the link to purchase through Fanatics. But yeah, so don't skip out on that gear. And let's get right back into our scorecast since my transitions are
They're flawless.
blatantly obvious. Yeah. Okay.
No, they're baller. They're
Thank you.
baller.
our can't lose
Yeah.
transitions.
That's right. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm going to use my skip here too, just because. So Sam Pittman, coach for Arkansas, I like him a lot, but he has COVID right now. If he was on the sideline, I'd be tempted to take him with the points. But between that, maybe Florida has a letdown game. There's just too many unknowns for me. So yeah, I'm going to pass on this one.
All right, number 10, Indiana at Michigan State. IU favored by 7.5. Sir Yacht, why don't you take this one first?
Oh my God. This is I almost want to make this one my lock. I like Indiana a lot. And I don't like Michigan State a whole lot. They lost to Rutgers. Like Rutgers, I mean Rutgers is better this year. They're better.
They beat Michigan.
but they're still
Yeah, Michigan State only beats trash teams. So yeah.
And God, Michigan is miserable too. The Big Ten really is not good this year.
Penn State's
not good.
down.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. It's,
Indiana is
Wisconsin
like,
isn't even playing.
It's like the hopeful one, I feel like.
Indiana's the second best team in the Big Ten this year.
Right.
I mean, at
Which
this
is
rate, if
nuts.
Wisconsin cancels their season, you might have another Northwestern Ohio State Big Ten
Ooh.
championship.
I like that.
How is Minnesota doing? I don't even know how they're doing.
I mean, they lost to Michigan.
Not good.
They've lost to Maryland too. I know. I think
that's
they're
right.
0-3, or they're 1-2 maybe.
Why? We literally all fought for the Big Ten to come back just so Ohio State could go do some things like for Ohio State national championship.
Of course.
But
Yep.
Indiana's good. Indiana is good though. And
Yeah.
I think they're going to win by at least 2 touchdowns. I don't think Michigan State's that good.
Yep.
And the thing this year is like the spreads are going to be different because the crowds are either not going to be there at all or they're going to be limited in some capacity. So it's interesting to think about how the spreads are going to be different because you don't really have that home field advantage as much as it would be in a typical college football game. So I have Indiana winning by 2 touchdowns here. I mean I obviously have them covering.
I also have Indiana winning and covering this game. To me, it's a no-brainer that they'll win by more than 1 touchdown. I think it was a surprise to a lot of people that Michigan State beat Michigan, but I think so far that has said more about Michigan than it has about Michigan State.
Right.
Michigan State just got road graded by Iowa.
Yeah. So I have a lot of confidence in Indiana to win and cover this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, same, and this is my lock too. Michigan State sucks, and
Nice.
what's so
I'm just saying
frustrating?
that because
They're just a terrible football.
Last
team.
time you locked against Michigan State was the Michigan State game. That's all I'll say.
Well, Indiana's a real football team. Indiana's a real football team. Picking between 2 teams that, just both beat Michigan pretty badly. So,
All right. Cool.
Nothing else to say on that.
Richie?
yeah, so obviously I'm gonna take Indiana. Michigan State does suck. They can't hold on to the football, honestly. I think Indiana's legit. Indiana by 1 billion. So yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of Michigan, we have number 13 Wisconsin visiting the Big House. Michigan, Wisconsin favored by 4.
What are these spreads? What the hell is this spread?
Michigan was favored when the line came out by like a point or two, and it immediately would move 6 points.
Hey, if you have a problem with the spread, take it up with ESPN. All right.
I would
probably
have
has
bet on
moved,
that
like-
spread. Oh my god.
Well,
I would have bet
Well,
on that
it's
spread
early. It's only
immediately.
Wednesday, so
Yeah, that'll move still.
by
That's true.
Saturday
That's
it's gonna
true.
be like all the way to other spectrum. I feel like.
It'll get over 7, I bet.
But I want to
um,
bet on it now, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, what are you thinking with betting for this game?
Me? Probably me.
No,
I
but
mean,
like, what's your leaning?
I keep going over. I keep having the team that. Well, actually, no, because Miami was my lock. I have Wisconsin winning by at least more than 4 points. I like to say at least a touchdown. I don't know. There's some fundamental problems that Michigan has that because usually at this point, they have like one or they maybe have one loss, but they're going into the season. They have a chance of going to the Big Ten championship. But it's like something's just is not right. I mean, Harbaugh's out. Like I mean, he's done.
Yep.
Like so, they're letting him finish the year, but it just doesn't. I don't know. There's some disconnect, and I don't see it translating to Michigan losing by 4 points or less. So I don't know how bad Wisconsin is going to beat Michigan, but I just probably am going to say it's going to be more than 4 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I just checked back on the ESPN app, and their confidence is rising in Wisconsin because they actually bumped it up another half point, so it's up at Wisconsin by 4.5 now. Not
which
that that's
line
like
are we? Which number are we going to use? 4 or 4.5?
Does that change your opinion?
No, I'm just curious.
Okay.
Yeah, in case they get a couple safeties.
I mean, if it was a touchdown, a small
Safeties.
number, maybe, but
If it was 24.5, I would. Yeah, I'd still take Wisconsin, honestly.
ooh,
And so is that you want to go then?
Damn.
You're taking Wisconsin?
Yeah, I mean, what can I even
You gonna
say?
make
at
it your
this
lock?
point? Like, no. I just, as a fan, I can't bring myself to lock it.
I know. I could
it's-
never.
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of thing where it's like Michigan has enough talent. You would think at some point they'd have a bounce back kind of, like the classic save your job game, the classic like win to make your fan base feel better kind of game. But this team's so bad, I don't think they even have that kind of game in them till you get to like Rutgers, Maryland kind of teams. The question is if Wisconsin if they're healthy enough to pass the ball, have any kind of passing game, they'll blow out Michigan, because Michigan State, their quarterback is terrible right now, and he threw for over 300 yards against Michigan, and our corners are just getting beat on every play. So if you have even a halfway decent quarterback, you're going to pass for 300 or 400 yards against Michigan. So, assuming that Wisconsin plays the game, they'll cover.
Yeah. For me on this game, everything you said about Michigan maybe having a bounce back, save your job, like, quote unquote, save the season in a kind of way. I do feel like Michigan, just because college football is built so much on emotion, I feel like that is something I could see the players getting up for Harbaugh, maybe. And so because of that, and because of Wisconsin's long layoff, I've chosen to skip this game because there could be a lot of moving parts there with Wisconsin missing time. Notre Dame, when they missed a couple weeks, they looked really rusty against Louisville. And so that's why I'm chosen to skip this game.
nice. I'm picking the Badgers -4 or 4.5. I think they're well rested, so I think they should
they
go
should
out
be,
and
right?
kill 'em, so
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so our last one right here is number 23 Northwestern at Purdue. Northwestern, by the way, it's kind of weird to say number 23 Northwestern, but Northwestern is favored by 3. So, man, Michigan hat, why don't you start on this one?
I love me some Pat Fitzgerald. Like it's just nice to see things kind of coming together there a little bit. Like it seems like they have a quarterback that they like who can
Peyton
kind of
Ramsey.
run the system, which he's always kind of needed for his offense. Yeah, I'm gonna ride with them this week too. I think they cover the spread. I almost locked this game. Part of me just wants them to be good because there's no other good teams in the West right now, really. So yeah, I'm hoping Northwestern keeps winning, and so I'm picking them in this game.
Nice. Richie.
So I think the Northwestern defense is really good. They have excellent ball control, holding it for around like 33 minutes per game. They have great turnover margin, but Purdue has a great QB too, passing for 71% yards, whatever. But like I don't think they can outmatch the defense. So I'm going for Northwestern -3.
Yeah. Sir Yacht.
This has nothing to do with my pick. I just noticed this the other day. I was watching the football game was on and it happened to be Northwestern. And I noticed that everybody on Northwestern's offense was a Caucasian. So I was like, that's weird. BYU. I was like BYU. BYU has some weird jersey.
That's like Notre Dame
jersey. Yeah. I'm just like, oh wait, that's Northwestern. What? I've never seen that before. No, so I just thought that was funny. I was like, fuck. I was like, BYU is weird jerseys, man.
Am I watching an Iowa basketball game? What is this?
yeah. Like, what the hell? But I will. I'm gonna skip this one. I just don't know enough about either team. It's so weird. Like you said, it's weird saying 23 Northwestern. Like, is college football really that bad this year? Like, it's just I don't know.
Yes,
I mean
it's worse.
Who in the Pac-12 is ranked? USC, is that it?
Is Oregon or no?
Yeah, Oregon is. My bad. But like,
no, but no one else.
Yeah, so it's like,
Big
I mean,
12
there's a
is
lot
terrible.
of. I mean, being a Notre Dame fan, there's a lot of ACC teams that are ranked. I feel like it's mainly ACC and SEC. Then you have Ohio State and Indiana, and I guess is Michigan still ranked? Oh yeah, Wisconsin. Like, I don't know.
Michigan's not. No.
Yeah,
No.
that's right.
No,
Oh man.
we won't be ranked
God,
again for like three more seasons probably.
No, I don't know. Yeah, they might get the guy from Utah next year. Assuming Harbaugh's gone, or Les Miles has come up as a potential candidate. So
I don't know what I would think about that. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, you could try to get Matt Nagy because he'll hopefully be gone from the Bears. So, but that's a different topic.
Yeah.
No, he'll get. I think Nagy will get to pick a QB this draft. I don't know where they'll be, but either this like signing somebody, trading for somebody, or picking somebody, drafting somebody. Nagy will get to pick his quarterback because people like to say that he picked Pat Mahomes, even though obviously there were multiple people probably behind that pick. But we'll see. The last thing I wanted to do is more hypothetical, but Suryat, since you're the Big Ten expert here with this Ohio State Alabama rumor, if they played and if you had to set a point spread for that game, what would it be? And then maybe we can go ahead and pick it.
Assuming they're playing neutral site somewhere, I guess. Yeah.
In the bubble.
Let's assume neutral site. My guess that if it was okay, we set a spread. I would say I'm telling you, I think it would be like really close, but I would my guess it would be like Alabama plus 2 point or minus 2.5 or something like that.
That's the exact thing I had. Yep.
That feels about right.
Yep.
Huh. And what would your pick be for the game? I know you're an Ohio State fan,
I think Alabama would win. I just think defensively, Ohio State has a lot of questions. I mean, they let up especially at the end against Rutgers. I think they have a lot of questions. Justin Fields is playing out his mind. I mean, I think, him and Mac Jones obviously are the top two right now. Like Trevor Lawrence is like third best odds to win. I think Justin will eventually go ahead of Mac the more they play. That's my prediction. But I think the defense just has too many holes, and there's a little bit of question of their running game as well. So they just have too many questions for me to kind of put them ahead of Alabama. I mean, God, they look good. They're a very good football team. So I would probably say Alabama.
Richie, what would you say?
I'd say
if we were
Alabama.
picking Alabama.
Yeah. I mean, if it was 2.5, yeah, if it was like more than a field goal, maybe I'd pick Ohio State. But since it's 2.5, I'd definitely pick Alabama. So it'll be close. But
Sure.
I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah, for me, I would have a really hard time because, to be honest, I haven't been able to watch much of Alabama or Ohio State to be able to like get down to like the very nitty gritty details of these teams, because I feel like with two powerhouse schools and powerhouse teams, it really does come down to like what are the even small weaknesses on either team. But to me, the one that's most obvious is just that Fields to me is clearly better than Mac Jones. So just because Ohio State has the better quarterback, I would go with Ohio State in this game.
Wow.
Personally.
Wow.
But that's with limited Alabama viewing for me.
Yeah, I've watched several.
I forgot for like 5 seconds that this is just a hypothetical. I was getting like really excited. I'm like, damn it, it's not happening. But
sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is awesome. But,
Yeah, I would love to see this. I would take Ohio State too. I don't know if they win, but I take them with the points. I think they would have the best player on the field, and I know they have questions on defense because they just haven't played enough games, and there's been some red flags. But Alabama has some trouble on defense too at points, so I just take Fields on the points, honestly.
sure.
Awesome.
We will see.
Yeah. So the last thing I want to do, Sir Yacht, before you can plug your stuff and let you go is just, the three of us are going to pick NFL games next, but I know you're a big Browns fan. So what have you thought of the Browns this season? And what do you think about their matchup this week against the Texans?
Guys, I mean, so they're probably going to win Sunday. I mean, that would be my guess. And if they did, they would tie last season's record. Like if they just lost the rest of the year, they would just, it would be the same record. So for us, it's crazy. Nothing has changed though, because they're still third place in the AFC North and out of the playoffs right now. But they'll probably, division. I mean, unfortunately, Steelers are probably behind. I think the Chiefs are the best team in football, but then the Steelers, and the Ravens are stout defense, and Lamar's a little questionable right now, but I think he'll pick it up and play a little better. But I'm very happy. Obviously, I mean our standards are very low here, so for them to be 5-3 is kind of miraculous. I'm hoping with their Wyatt Teller was the best right guard in the NFL before he got injured, and then Nick Chubb is coming back. They're getting a couple other key pieces. They have a very questionable defense as well. So most games that they're in are going to be like, juggernaut games. Deshaun Watson's a stud. I like the Browns winning. I think it's going to be close, but I think they're going to win at home.
Nice.
I would say over a field goal. Yeah, I would say over a field goal.
Nice. Yeah, we'll be getting into our picks here in a little bit, but yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts since you're the Browns fan. So, guys, do you have anything else for Sir Yacht?
Go check out his music.
Yeah, definitely check that out. And yeah, I appreciated you bringing the Big Ten back at the time, but if you want to cancel at any time, that'd be great too. I've seen enough. I've seen enough football this year. Yeah.
I know we can just watch like the ACC and SEC. Like that just looks a little more entertaining. God, Big Ten has just been a nightmare right now. But guys, thanks for having me on. Yeah, just my band's name is Maui Ski Club. We just put out some music. We're gonna put out some more here in the near future. And I just I got a lot of stuff that I can't announce yet that I'm doing. I've been working on, but by the end of the year, I'll announce it. And it's some of the biggest stuff that I've kind of been a part of in the entertainment industry. So exciting things coming up. But thanks, guys.
I have to ask, does that include, when you were on Frustration Nation with Michigan Hat and I, you mentioned something about looking into or like applying for being on a reality show. Is that part of the announcements coming up or?
No, that's not. Yeah, That's not a part of it. So we'll see.
Oh, okay.
That kind of fell through. But I mean, there are other opportunities down the road. But unfortunately, that one kind of fell through.
It was Bachelor in Paradise, wasn't it?
It was Bachelor in Paradise. Yes, you nailed it. Yeah. Me and my
Nice.
I'm coming on my 2-year anniversary with my girlfriend. I thought Bachelor in Paradise would be a good idea. I thought that would be very smart. Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Yacht, for coming on, and keep doing good work. And thank you for saving the Big Ten, I guess.
I didn't do anything, but you're welcome, Richie. Here's yours, man. The Michigan hat. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. It's fun as always. Looking forward to coming back on sometime in the near future.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, man.
All right.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, let's transition from that into NFL news, NFL picks. I feel like NFL news just kind of along with college football has been like COVID stuff.
It seems like it always is at this point.
Yeah.
Does Ben Roethlisberger have COVID, or was it like a? Do you know anything about that?
He was close contact.
Got it.
Well, didn't he also have like a hip injury or something too? He came back from that.
What?
Bigger with
Check
that.
your local bars. Has been getting in trouble again.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Roethlisberger is old at this point, so. But I don't know if you guys noticed, but on our originally yesterday when I put our point spreads together, there was not a line for Bengals Steelers, probably because there were so many players, including Roethlisberger, out. But today they put it up and it was negative or Pitt by 7. So that I would assume that means Roethlisberger's good to go. So unless Mason Rudolph is worth 7 points.
If Mason Rudolph's the one quarterback in them, they might not score 7 points.
Yeah.
He might be the worst quarterback who's ever stepped on a football field anywhere.
Nathan Peterman?
I might rather roll the dice with Nathan Peterman.
Really?
Who was their
I
other
heard-
QB? That was like pretty like dope. I forgot his name.
Mitchell Trubisky?
No.
That dude
I couldn't
sucked.
remember.
Duck Hodges?
Doug Hodges. Yes. He was awesome.
Did they release him, right?
His first name is Devlin, and his nickname is Duck.
He actually did duck calls. Like it was dope. Like
Did he?
yeah, like he was
What?
like champion of like duck calls or whatever. Yeah.
No way. I did not know that. That's awesome. Did he do it on the field, like for Audible?
I don't know.
Like to call it Audible, he pulls like a duck whistle out of his pocket, like the Duck Commander brand. Just but what was I gonna say about?
Funnily enough, Mason Rudolph Duck is also what he should have done in that one against Myles Garrett. But
yeah.
Ooh, I hit my spread. Oh,
Full
sorry.
circle.
Yeah,
I was looking at ESPN scores. I hit one of my games.
Nice. Well, gentlemen, shall we get into our NFL picks?
Let's go.
Awesome. So starting with Thursday Night Football, Indianapolis Colts are visiting the Tennessee Titans. Colts coming off a loss to the Ravens. Titans coming off a win against the Bears. Titans are favored by dose. So what are you guys' thoughts?
I'll start. So I hate betting for Titans because they can't hit a spread for the life of them. But I feel like Derrick Henry's going to show up. The Colts. I mean, Phillip Rivers. This is a hard game for me, but I did the opposite. What I think I was going to do. I'm going to go for Titans -2, even though I don't want to, but it sucks.
I'm right there with you. I'm picking the Titans to win and cover. Phillip Rivers to me he's been inconsistent this year just because of his age, and I feel like he had a good game against. Well, I guess 2 weeks ago it was when they played the Lions, right? They put up 41.
Yep.
So I don't know. Maybe he's due for another uptick game. I don't know how much Derrick Henry will be able to do because the Colts have a really good defense. But I just feel like the Titans have not really looked good for a couple weeks now against the Bengals, and they really didn't look good against the Bears. The Bears looked atrocious. So I'm kind of picking the Titans to kind of have a bounce back game here, which is why I'm picking them to win and cover.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of those thoughts. Like, I think Phillip Rivers is washed. Like, he's terrible. the Colts are kind of similar to the Bears in play styles, like good defense, offensive struggles, just like less extreme on each of those probably. So I think Tennessee wins this game basically the same way and covers the spread. I think Derrick Henry will have more success rushing against the Colts, and it feels like a game where he kind of would push for a bounce back because he didn't do anything against the Bears.
Yeah, he had 68 yards.
Yeah,
against
so
the Bears.
I think he cracks 100 in this game, scores 1 or 2 touchdowns, and I think Tennessee wins and covers. Maybe it's less than a touchdown, but I think they win by at least 4 or 5.
By the way, Derrick Henry having 68 yards rushing is the only reason that I was kept within striking distance of Richie in fantasy football this week.
He should have gone off, but he didn't. But,
yeah, you got like 6 points from him on fantasy.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed.
Yeah,
but whatever. It happens.
All right. Texans at Browns. We heard Sir Yacht's pick a little bit ago. Browns favored by 3. I'll start on this one. I feel like at this point, I mean, I don't know how I can really. The Browns obviously have flaws, and I will always say the Browns are still the Browns, but it's still just it's so hard to pick in favor of the Texans with just how their season has gone. I know Deshaun Watson is still a threat, and Will Fuller can be if he can catch the ball, but I just don't. To me, I'm just picking the Browns because it's the easy pick here, and I just don't have any confidence that the Texans can win or cover 3. I could see the Browns winning by a touchdown. So
nice. So I think it's a prove it game for both teams. The Browns obviously coming off a bye week, and the Texans coming off their second win, so they do have some momentum coming through, but I just feel like the Browns are just gonna win because they need this win too. I mean, the Texans do too, but I feel like the Browns need it more than Texans. So yeah.
Well, this makes the second game. All 3 of us are in agreement. I'm going to take the Browns too. The Texans are just a dumpster fire right now. Like you see players talking now. JJ Watt, is he leaving or not? Like it's just there's too much going on there, and the team's too bad. Even though Cleveland's inconsistent, I think they might be a little underrated because of the tough division they're in. I think they are going to be a playoff team. I think they'll win this game by multiple scores.
All right. The Washington football team against this other football team from Detroit, known as the Lions.
The football team.
Detroit is favored by 4.
This is gross. Like I hate picking this game at this point because now things have shifted where I don't want to be the fan who roots for my team to lose. Like in general, I think that just makes you a miserable person. And, yeah, it's just like
thank for Trevor.
But like, you almost. I'm not going to root for losses in the game, like in the moment. But at this point, it's better for the team, and so it's tough. Objectively, I think Detroit is the better team here. It looks like Alex Smith is going to start, and I think Stafford is clearly better than Alex Smith. The biggest weakness for the Lions is the run defense, and I just don't know if Washington has the talent there to exploit that, like the Vikings did. I'll take Detroit here to win and cover. I just don't have a lot of faith in Washington.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I don't have a lot of faith in Detroit, and I don't have a faith in Washington either. And so for me, this is very coin flippy. And because Detroit is a rival, because I like making you mad, because I like the name of the football team, and that their initials are WFT, I'm going to pick Washington basically for entirely arbitrary reasons, but I'm going to pick Washington to cover.
Well, if you think it's like a toss-up game too, you're getting 4 points, so that's just a good bet. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm picking football team 2 plus 4.
Yes.
Yes. So the Lions are 0-7 straight up. So they're not going to win straight up.
Let's go.
That's not good. It's going to be a close game. Stafford can come back, but the field goal is not going to win it for you. So I feel like it's going to be football plus 4. So
Well, we've been all in lock with our first 2 games. I feel like this is the one where I fall a game behind. But I'm sticking with it.
I gotta ask you, would you rather this weekend watch the Lions, the Wolverines, or finish drinking your relish?
I would rather go to
Wow.
Costco and buy a gallon-sized relish. And I say that, but I'm still going to end up watching both of my teams.
Right? Yeah.
So it's just like a
fan. It's because you're a fan.
yeah. It's just like I don't know why I do it to myself, but it's yeah.
Oh man.
No
Well,
good options.
Speaking of bad teams, the Jaguars. Yeah, I know. I wish I could say the Packers. The Jaguars are visiting Lambeau Field. Green Bay is favored by 13.5.
So this is a big number. But I was this the Notre Dame game too, 13.5.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big number, but it stays below that magic number of 14.
Yeah.
Because once you get to 14, you have to win by 2 touchdowns. You're talking like blowout level. 13.5. I think the Packers can cover and win by 2 TDs.
Nice. So I hate betting and betting against the Packers because I always get fucked every fucking time. So I'm skipping this. I can never get the right side of this game. It's not good. Funny story. So I was in Vegas 2011 on 11-11-11, and I bet the Packers and versus the Falcons. It was supposed to be a field goal. They fucking missed the field goal for me to cover. It was a 16 parlay, $20 to win like 800 or some shit, and they fucking missed it. So I still hate the Packers, even though I'm never gonna. I fucking hate the Packers.
Now you have more reason.
More reasons.
I was gonna say I've never gambled on the Packers, and I still hate the Packers like more than almost anything in this world. So anything in existence, pretty much, is like above the Packers for me. So,
yeah.
But with that, I mean, it's hard for me to pick against the Packers. I mean, they like. It sucks. Hey, didn't you pick the Packers?
Yeah, I did.
Get out of here. Man, I hate it as a Bears fan, but like, I mean, come on. The Jaguars, like, and I would maybe have a little bit of hope if Minshew was starting, but I don't think he is because he's still injured, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's like, how can you pick the I mean, can the Jaguars even, like, how many points? I mean, I know that they just scored 24 against Houston.
Mm-hmm.
If they score 24 against the Packers, Aaron Rodgers will have, scored 45. Like, I just feel like the Packers win this game in blowout fashion. So I'm sticking with the Packers. All right. The game everyone's been wanting to watch this week, Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Giants.
Playing for the division. Yeah. Couple powerhouse teams.
big division game.
Danny fucking dimes.
This might get flexed to the night game. Yeah.
Yeah, right. What are the Eagles? The Eagles are like 3-4-1, holding on solidly.
That team in the NFC East, whatever. Or?
Yeah, they are.
We see. So yeah, they're 3-4-1.
First place.
And then the Washington's second at 2-6.
Nice. Yeah. So really, the Eagles are running away with the division.
At 3-4-1.
Because that tie.
I wish the Bears were in that division. We'd be fucking killing it.
Yeah. I really want the Giants to still win the division. They're 2-7 right now, but it's actually still possible.
Yeah, I mean they're within striking. They're only one game behind in the win column.
They're in the hunt. They're always going to be in the hunt. I feel like
they're like one game away from being like a top 2 draft pick, and they're also one game away from contending for their division.
The problem for Washington, Dallas, and New York. They're all one game behind in the win column, but because Philadelphia has the tie, because all these teams are so bad, the tie to me acts as a win because you
have to beat them by 1. Now.
Yeah, you have to beat them by 1 entire game. So basically, you're like 2 games behind, even though you're technically only 1.
It feels like the wild card, which this might make no sense, but it seems like when it hurts you is if you're trying to be. Like when you're trying to be a wild card team, that seems like that's where the ties hurt you sometimes. But if you're trying to win the division, it's just the head-to-head matchups are more of a factor. So yeah.
So I've chosen. So the Eagles are 3.5. This is one of those games where it's just I look at it and I'm just like, this is stupid. Why are we playing this game? Why would anyone watch this game? So I'm skipping it because I have no interest and I have really no idea who could win this game. I feel like either team could win this game just as easily, so I'm skipping.
Nice. Good skip. I'm picking the Giants plus 3.5.
Yes.
I think the Eagles are injured. Giants are at home, like that matters, and also Danny Dimes, he's a stud, so I'll pick the Giants.
Yep. Yeah. Kyle said you said something. You said that like it's kind of a toss up. Like either team could equally win this game. Usually, I like picking games like that because if I feel like it's a toss up and then you're going to give me points to take one, I'll just take the underdog. So I'm going to take Danny Dimes. Woo! Cover. Give me the points. Yeah, obviously both teams are trash, but yeah, I'll take the 3.5.
Now I know the Giants. Do you think? Like, I feel like Danny Dimes, because of that nickname, he should be wearing number 10. But I guess that was Eli's number, right?
Yeah, it was.
So are they retiring Eli's number?
How weird of a question. Like, I know he's won 2 Super Bowls, but it just feels like he should never have his number retired.
I mean, if I'm the Giants, I'm retiring his number. He might.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Danny
gonna
Dimes
be
is number 8.
I knew that. I'm just saying he should wear number 10 because of his nickname.
Yeah.
His nickname is not Danny Nickel and 3 pennies. Yeah. Or yeah. Anyway. All right. Next game. Buccaneers at the Panthers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, after getting curb stomped by the Old Man Breeze and the New Orleans Saints. Tampa Bay favored by 5. I look at this game as a bounce back game, as Tom Brady is pissed about getting blown out, just like he was pissed about losing to the Bears in an upset. Comes out the next week, blows out the Packers. I'm looking at this game as a Tom Brady revenge game, even though the Panthers are like, what did we do to you? So I'm picking the Buccaneers to destroy the Panthers here, which means they'll win and cover.
Yeah. Go
ahead, Richie.
All I'm going to say, yeah, same. This Tom Brady bounce back game of the year. This is the big dick off, too, because also I just feel like Teddy Bridgewater is a big dick, but Tom Brady's going to be like, yeah, I got this. So he's going to bounce back and just kill him, I feel like, because he got embarrassed last week. So, yeah, that's about it.
It's so hard to like. Normally, you can't overdo this when you do your picks, but there's a little bit of like transitive property that goes into it. Like, well, this team beat this team, so they're probably better than this, and this team lost to the same team, But it's like it feels like this year it's so weird with that you can't really.
The NFL is different every week because there's always injuries, especially with COVID this year. There's always people out. There's always different players that match up better than other players. It's impossible to actually, like, it's obvious certain teams are better than other teams, and it's obvious to pick upsets, but it's impossible to really say, like you're saying with transitive properties, it's impossible to really be like, because this team beat this team, therefore there is not math. This is not a mathematical.
The Bears beat both of these teams. Yeah.
So that doesn't say much though.
Yeah. So it's just strange. And yeah, Tom Brady versus Drew Brees. It feels like next year that's going to be a battle that's fought like over a game of bingo in the nursing home. Like you don't know what you're going to get out of either quarterback week to week. It's just
if they do, that Tom Brady's probably going to like cheat on his bingo card.
Deflated.
Wow.
Binoculars.
He's gonna have a secret chip in his like old man shirt pocket. He's gonna have ready to place down on this card.
Yep.
Or he's gonna be like, "Oh, I got the bingo with the free space," and I'm like, "There was no free space on this bingo card." Yeah.
Whoops. Just because of how inconsistent both of these teams have been, how up and down Brady and the Bucks have been, like it's just there's no way I can pick this with any degree of confidence. I thought about taking the points in the Bucks, but I'm gonna pass on this one, punt the ball here. I can't do this one.
I like that. That's a good call. That's a good skip.
Yeah.
All right, Broncos at Raiders, Vegas by 5. Richie, what are your thoughts on this one?
This is my lock for the NFL picks. Vegas always wins. Hey, the house always wins. So that's number one. Number two, the offense is like the Raiders' offense looks cooking. I like the Raiders. I saw them last week. They look great. And the Broncos are missing half their defensive starters. So I feel it's going to be a shutout game. Not shutout, but pretty close. Raiders by 1 million. So
it's going to be pretty close. Raiders by 1 million. Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
So if anybody that's watching this has seen or has listened to Frustration Nation, Michigan Hat and I picking games, this entire year we've been high on the Raiders
for some reason. Like higher than we should be at this point, but I still am.
Yeah. Higher than Josh Gordon. But I am
J.R. Smith.
Then who? J.R. Smith. Yeah, we can keep it coming. So for me, I'm gonna keep rolling with the Raiders. I mean, they've steered me wrong on some games, but they've steered me right on more games they've steered me wrong on. So I like the Raiders and the Broncos. I really feel bad for Vic Fangio as a Bears fan because he's really been dealt a tough hand there because both years they've just been riddled with injury and they have like so much uncertainty at the quarterback position. So it's hard to really pick the Broncos. So yeah, Raiders all the way.
Yeah, you said exactly what I was going to say is that continue to be high on the Raiders. And it feels like at this point, I'm just too invested to change at this point. Like, I'm going to all the way to the Super Bowl. I'm going to pick the Raiders until they lose. And so I feel like, Richie, you mentioned this, like with all the injuries on the defense for the Broncos, I keep waiting on Josh Jacobs to have this huge breakout game this year. Like he's had breakout games in previous seasons, obviously, but like have this huge game, partly because I have him in fantasy. I'm just like, he's just consistent, but he hasn't had like that huge game. And I think this is it with all the injuries to the Broncos. So I think the Raiders win by multiple touchdowns, probably. Like this feels like a 17, 18 point win. So I almost locked it. I like that pick for you, Richie, but I'll just take the Raiders to cover here.
With no lock. Got it.
Yeah, no lock.
All right. Chargers, Dolphins in Miami. Favored by 2.5. It's Tua time. What do you guys think?
Oh, I thought that was like a preview to your pick.
I mean, sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have the Dolphins. I love Justin Herbert, but the rest of the Chargers team is not as good as. I mean, the Dolphins, I guess, aren't that great either. The Dolphins have just been on a run lately, and I feel good about them winning by a field goal. So I'm going Dolphins.
So as Bob Quinn watches this game, he's watching two quarterbacks who the Lions could have drafted, either of these guys. And a lot of Lions fans,
you really think he's going to watch this game?
Well, he clearly isn't watching Lions games, so he must be watching something else. I don't know. But it's just like it's easy to look back on it now and say it, but I was one of the multiple people who was like, drafting a corner at 3 is you're not going to get enough value out of that unless he turns out to be a Hall of Famer. It's not worth 3. So yeah, we're going to be able to watch two amazing rookie quarterbacks who the Lions could have both drafted. Just side note. So yeah, Tua and the Dolphins just had 2 huge wins against good teams. I was pretty critical of them when they decided to sit Fitzmagic, but it looks like maybe that was an upgrade to get Tua, or at least now they're gonna be able to see what they have with him. And long term, it's a good move, maybe. So, but San Diego's been losing a lot of their games, but they've been keeping it close. Oh, sorry, Chargers. Yeah,
the Los Angeles Chargers. Get it right.
Come on, get it right.
Have some respect. Well, I will respect them enough to take them here.
Wow.
I could see this going either way. So I'll take the points. And I think it's a close game either way. I'm really excited to see how the quarterbacks match up, but Herbert's had a little more starting experience. So I don't know. Yeah, I'll take the points.
Wow. I just feel like the Chargers can't win a game for the life of them. Like they tried last week. They were like this close, but they dropped the ball. It's going to be a high scoring game, I feel like, but it's going to come really close. Tua looks really electric. I'm taking Miami minus 2.5 by field goal. So yeah, I just can't see the Chargers winning a game. Like I can't see it.
I just have to say, I cannot wait for like a couple years down the line when we get a a Dolphins matchup against some other team, and it's Tua Tagovailoa against DJ Uiagalelei. Because whenever the announcers are talking, it's going to sound like they're having a brain aneurysm.
They need a Hawaiian
Galloway,
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then throw in like from Notre Dame, throw in like Owusu Koramoah. Jeremiah Owusu Koramoah. Something, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right. Owusu Koramoah sex Uiagalelei.
What?
God bless you. Yeah.
I just want to point out too, this is funny. So with all our picks so far, we've all been agreement on every pick except for 2, and on both of those you guys agreed and I'm the one who didn't.
Well,
yeah,
I have a hunch Richie's gonna agree with me on this next one. But
really?
Okay.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Bills at
one.
Cardinals.
You know my stance on. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arizona at 1.5 favorite. This was also a line that was delayed for some reason that I'd go a little bit more digging for, but Arizona by 1.5. We were talking pre-show that 1.5 is one of those scenarios where it's almost just like a pick'em game because it's just 1.5 is like hardly anything. Both teams have shown vulnerabilities this year. That being said, after the Raiders, the Bills are the next team I'm the most high on. So I'm going to ride with the Bills.
In the AFC or the NFL? Or no, you're not saying that you think they're the best. You're just consistently
in terms of teams that might be underrated.
Okay.
The teams I'm highest on would be the Raiders and then the Bills. So the Bills are right up there for me. So I'm going to pick the Bills to cover this game or win.
Yeah. I guess no one circles like wagons like the Buffalo Bills. So
That's
right. I picked the Bills plus 1.5. It's gonna be a shootout. I don't like these type of games to bet on like pick 'em style. I do like to bet the over, but we're not doing overs, so I can't do the over obviously. So if I were to pick one, I would pick the Bills. And it sucks because for fantasy, I have both Kyler Murray and Josh Allen. So I don't know who to pick. So they're both fucking high scoring people. So I always pick Kyler Murray because he does a little bit better.
He has the rushing yards for you.
Yeah, I do the rushing yards. Yeah. So
I don't really have advice for you on that one because I don't know what I would do.
I'm over the conundrum every week. I'm like, shit, I have really 2 good quarterbacks. So yeah.
It's a good problem to have though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna once again we're all gonna agree. I'm gonna take the Bills here.
Nice.
I'll take in underdogs, but like you said, this is kind of more of a pick'em game in my mind. This is gonna be a really good one. It's 2 teams who've looked like serious contenders at times, and then also had really rough patches. You got Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins. Like it's gonna be a great game to watch just as far as the talent on both sides. So I almost skipped this one as another one where it's just like I don't know which way to go on this. But I think I'm just gonna lean on Josh Allen to stay hot. And since I'm getting a 1.5, I'll take the Bills.
What was I gonna say? Shoot. I was gonna say, and I can't think of his name, and I feel bad bringing this up, but like,
we're not there yet. Sorry.
Just because we're talking about the Cardinals, maybe you guys can help me. I'm blanking on his name, but because it's Veterans Day, Pat Tillman. That's what I was thinking of. Like
Pat Tillman, got it.
Yeah,
I told you.
But I don't know. Just Veterans Day. Quick shout out. Thank you to everyone in service. I don't know if there's anyone who's watching or who will watch this that has served, but thank you. And picking the Cardinals reminded me of Pat Tillman and his tragedy and everything. So, and I know there's other NFL players that have been in the military before as well. So shout out to you guys. Thank you for keeping us safe over here, even when we're all going crazy. All right. Let's get to another game with a 1.5 point spread. Another game that I feel like is very pick'em, and that's Seahawks at Rams. Who wants to go first?
I'll go on this one.
Cool.
This one's tough too. You talked about teams like Vegas, who it's like we've been high on maybe more than they deserve at times. the Rams are a team I've been lower on than they deserve at times. Like
Yeah.
I've just never been impressed by them. And a lot of it's I just don't think Goff is that good of a quarterback. But I mean, they'll win good games, and I still just don't have a lot of faith in them. But the Seahawks have also been disappointing recently. I remember talking about them like they were clearly the best NFC team, and now they might be like the fourth best in a lot of people's minds.
Fourth.
I don't know. Saints, I'd take Cardinals ahead of them,
And the Packers.
and the Packers. And if
the
the Bears had, maybe the Bucks, or if the Bears had just beat the Titans, I'd put the Bears ahead of them at this point. The Seahawks just have no defense.
The Bears have no offense. So
yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's overreaction, but I do think there's at least 3 NFC teams who are going to be better than them. Can you imagine what this Seahawks offense would have been like with the Legion of Boom defenses? What that it's like it's weird now to think about that they have one of the worst defenses in football because it seems like their culture with Pete Carroll was built on just being a dominant defense. So, after all that negativity, I'm going to take the Seahawks though. So I think they win here. I've also just am not super high on the Rams. So yeah, I'll take the 1.5. I do think Russell Wilson's a really good quarterback. So between him and DK Metcalf, Lockett, like they have enough on offense. I think they maybe get a late touchdown, pull away.
Do you say Lockett like you're locking it, or like as in
no,
Tyler? Okay.
Tyler Lockett.
Okay.
Oh, got it.
Got to clarify that. Yeah,
Tyler Lockett, got it.
So yeah, I'm this game to me again is like I agree with everything you said. Like I've undervalued the Rams at time this season, and I feel like they will put up a much bigger fight against the Seahawks than maybe what people are expecting. But I can't pick against the Seahawks. The Seahawks have just, I know they haven't looked great, but they're still they have an elite offense, and NFL is an offensive league. And unless I don't know enough about the Seahawks O-line. The only way I see this getting in trouble is if Donald wrecks the game. But if they can double team him or triple team him, whatever you have to do, if you can take him out of the game, you have a great chance to beat the Rams. So, and Jalen Ramsey can only cover either Metcalf or Lockett. They can't cover both. So I'm picking the Seahawks.
And if he could cover Lockett, that would help my fantasy team a lot. Let Metcalf run free a little bit.
Who is their number one technically?
I think it's Metcalf.
Okay.
Really? I thought it was Lockett.
I don't know. I mean, Metcalf's like the bigger, taller down the field target. So maybe I just assumed he was number one because of that. I don't know who has more yards.
Interesting.
Or targets.
Yeah, yep. So I'm obviously going to pick Seattle too. I do know the Seattle defense does suck, but the Rams offense is not that much better. So I'm going to pick the Seahawks, honestly. Like the Rams do suck. I mean, I feel the Bears could have beat them.
They could. They should have.
Yeah.
I mean, Goff is like a slightly better Trubisky.
Yeah.
To be honest. Like Goff has slightly better accuracy. He slightly understands plays better. But he's practically the same. Just I would say slightly better. He was just good enough to get a massive contract.
Yeah, definitely.
Goff like it seems like he has like a mental issue. Not like mentally handicapped, but like
whoa, dude, whoa.
Like
do we have a censor button on this show?
I'm thinking like his mental toughness is kind of how I should have said that. Like
you better be ready for a pink piece of paper in your mailbox tomorrow.
It just seems like he's one of those guys like you can look at his attitude and his like you kind of look in his eyes after a couple drives and you can tell if he's going to lose that game or not. Like it just seems like he kind of gets on either good or bad momentum swings and just I don't know. It's just interesting. I just don't think he's that good of a quarterback.
Well,
and
at least
has
he
mental
doesn't-
issues.
At least he doesn't see ghosts like Sam Darnold. So
Yeah. Right.
man.
Yeah. Interesting.
I'm sorry, Richie. Did I cut you off, or did you make your pick?
Yeah, it was the Seahawks plus.
Oh, okay,
1.5.
cool.
Once again, we all picked the same.
Yeah.
All right, Niners at Saints. New Orleans by 9.5.
Oop, let me change the graphic.
Yeah, but while you're changing that, let me just say you're managed can have you've been like, oh man, like we've all been picking the same one, and every now and then I pick a different one. There's only 2 options, dude. Like it's bound to happen.
No, I know.
Okay.
It's just like it's funny because like I'm the one who takes the different pick. So either I'm gonna be in the lead at the end of this week, or I'll be the one who's behind by myself. It feels like.
Do you want other guys to be on the show too?
They can.
Okay, cool. I'll send a link over.
Okay.
Cool.
For this game, the Saints 9.5. Man, look, the Niners are bad, and Kittle and Garoppolo are out. The Niners just have so many injuries.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how good of a coach Kyle Shanahan is, and I really think he is a good coach. I just don't see how the Niners can beat the Saints the way the Saints looked against the Bucks. So I'm going to pick the Saints to win and cover, even though 9.5 is a bigger number for NFL. I just don't see how the Niners can win this game.
Yeah, I agree. So I've had issues betting on Niners games. Like I never know how to bet those because with all the injuries, you'd think they'd be terrible, and then they every once in a while have a really good game, and you just got to credit coaching for that. So when you have really good coaches and then no talent on the field, it's hard to know how accurate the line is. So really, I'm making this pick based more on the Saints because it looks like they have an opportunity to really rise to the top of the NFC and be either the clear best team or them and the Packers. But yeah, I think they win big here and kind of solidify their spot at the top.
Nice. So I got some stats for you guys. So the 49ers, they're 4-5 against the spread. The Saints are 3-5 against the spread. So I think this is a who wants it more game. I actually think the Niners are going to do what it takes to keep it close. So I'm going to get the Niners plus 9.5.
Like that.
Nice. Yeah, I was really tempted on Niners. To be honest, on my own personal notes, I literally just wrote Niners slash Saints because it was one where it was just like, go with your gut kind of when you get here. Because I really didn't have a leaning either way because I could see the Niners, even though they are riddled with injury. I do think Shanahan is that good of a coach. But I just logically, like when you're missing your quarterback, your running back, your tight end, Deebo Samuel might be still injured too. I'm not sure. Like all your like skill position players, you're in your second and third strings by now, and it's just hard to sustain anything. So
Cool. We got some special guests in the room.
let's bring them on.
Yo, hey, yo.
Hey.
My boy's 21st right now, man.
Hey, we're live from Chicago, baby.
Cheers.
Bar, we drunk. I'm not.
Yeah.
What's up, Drew?
I mean, hold on. Sorry.
There you go.
You want to make a pick for the
What'd you say,
Niners and the Saints?
I can't even hear you guys for real.
What's up?
He can't hear us.
Barely hear you guys right now.
We're picking the Niners and the Saints.
Hello there, mate.
This is Shots for Jazz.
Hello.
That's Jimmy.
What's up,
Where you guys
Jim?
at?
The white boy that I beat in chugging. He's salty. He's salty as fuck. Yeah.
Hold up.
He was
I got
like,
you both too.
he was like, he's like, I'm 21. I'm gonna beat you in chugging. Whoa, Jimmy, did you just join? Bro, we're next to each other. You can't do
Yeah, I'm
that.
taking him out. All right.
He's like, I'm 21. He's like, I'm gonna beat you in chugging because I think I'm the shit. And I was like, nah, bro. I was like, it ain't happening.
Nice. All right.
Just because he's 21.
Nice.
Wait, could we get 2 more big cups? I'll talk one again. You ready? Can I
All
get
right, this is a big day I do
Hey,
chug
we're gonna
intermission.
check one on live, right?
This is brought to you
Good.
by what do we have left? Do
Your
you have
mom.
any ads left?
Yeah, because
I
echoing.
think we read both of our ads earlier for
All
college.
right.
Hold on.
Well,
let-
this is
hey, let
also
Jimmy
sponsored by
join,
Thrive
'cause he's
Fantasy,
feeling-
the daily fantasy
Let
sports
Jimmy
app for
join
player
because he's
props.
feeling left out, and I'll my battery's about to die anyway. But Jimmy's feeling left out. Let him go.
All
All
right.
right, we'll move Jimmy
We're going to Jimmy now, I guess. Oh,
from
Over
2 feet across
the table. Yeah. There he is.
What's up, Jimmy?
what's up? And that's Jazz. Oh, he's muted.
By the way, guys, yes, we are at the bar.
Which bar?
Yeah.
Which bar?
You know what? You want to do a? They want to do a chug live.
We're doing sports right now, but we'll
Hold
get
on.
back to you later. We'll get back to you later. We're gonna finish sports
Hold
first.
on, hold on.
We're gonna finish sports first and get back to you guys. All right. Sorry. It's nothing to do with sports.
Yeah.
That
It's
was like a good intermission.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
a good palate cleanser to
Yeah.
finish off our last 3 NFL games here.
Yeah.
Get a
So
little more lighthearted, yeah.
yeah, so Bengals at Steelers, Pitt by 7. I mentioned that this game had not had their spread posted until recently because of the uncertainty with Roethlisberger. So Richie, what are you feeling on this game?
So for this game, I'm not sure about Big Ben on the COVID protocol. I feel the Bengals keep it close for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'm a little high on Joe Burrow.
Mhm.
I feel it's going to be upset. I don't know why. I just feel it. It's a gut feeling. So Bengals plus 7, honestly.
Dude, I can't believe that we're doing this right now. I have the Bengals too. And it's not I don't even necessarily think the Bengals win.
Yeah,
But
I think they're going to cover. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the Bengals can keep this close. And I feel like the Steelers showed major signs of concern against the Cowboys, against the 4th stringer. And Burrow's like, I don't know. I have a feeling that the Bengals can make this a close game. And so I thought I was going to be alone in picking the Bengals, but I'm going Bengals to cover.
Yeah, well, once again, I'm the one on the other side of the
Is this your lock?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's coming up here shortly, though. So it's been interesting. Like Bengals on social media and some of their players have been kind of chirping a little bit, talking a little trash, which I respect. But the Steelers are also coming off, like you said, a rough game against the Cowboys, and it feels like they, even though they're undefeated, have something to prove, kind of. So Ben Roethlisberger, kind of maybe he comes back with a vengeance if he's able to play. I don't know. This feels like I do respect what Burrow's done for the Bengals, but I think this is a game the Steelers win big, just because they have so much to prove, even as a undefeated team.
So you're feeling almost like a Steelers revenge game, kind of like
in a way, kind of, just because there's a big national perception out there that the Cowboys probably should have won that game, and just kind of criticism of them. So I think there's probably a feeling there that like we're the only undefeated team in the NFL still at this point. People kind of have stopped respecting us like they should after that game. So I think they bounce back.
All right, Ravens at Patriots. Baltimore favored by 7. Man, Michigan hat. What are your thoughts?
This is my lock.
Ooh, wow.
And I am taking the Ravens.
Nice.
Like, how crazy is it to even think even a year ago that I would take a lock against the Patriots?
Right.
But they suck. Like, they're trash this year.
Barely beating the Jets.
Yeah. Man.
You know they're going to get either Fields or Lawrence next year.
Oh, yeah.
You just know it. And then
Yeah.
they're going to be great for another 2 decades or whatever.
And
They're
it's just
flunking
crazy.
for Fields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird, though. It's just like I had a lot more faith in Cam Newton coming into the season. Like, I did think his best games were behind him, but I thought he would be a better quarterback than the free agent market made him look, with how low, like, cheap of a deal he got. and
Yeah,
all
the
that.
market was right on him for sure.
Yeah, so he's been rough this year. The Ravens just had an impressive win. Their defense is elite. I think Newton struggles. I think Baltimore wins this by multiple scores, and so I'm locking them at 7.
I'm going Ravens here as well. the Patriots just look atrocious, and people have been saying all year long, like, oh well, Belichick's still a good coach. Patriots will play it close. Like for every game they say that, and I just
never happens.
don't see it happening. So I'm going. I'm going Ravens.
Patriots,
I'm going Ravens. Ravens.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Patriots, they're 0-3 against the spread in prime time. So obviously, not Patriots.
Oh, you said it too. You both said
That's
it.
what you're saying that. Baltimore -7. Baltimore's actually 11-3-1 against the spread. So they're doing well this year. Well, not this year, but against the spread. But
last 14 games.
Yeah, last 15 games. So not bad. It's just Patriots suck. I'm sorry. Yeah, they can't do it.
Enjoy saying that while we can, right?
Yeah.
For one year. Yeah.
Our final game for your inaugural episode of the Shoot Your Shot Scorecast. Monday Night Football. Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. Minnesota favored by 2.5. As one of the two Bears fans on this show, I'm going to come out and just say, the Bears are my lock of the week because the Bears, they have to have a bounce back at some point, and they're going up against primetime Kirk Cousins. Expect a defensive dominated game by the Bears. Defense is going to score 2 touchdowns. Like, I'm going all in on bold predictions here. Kirk Cousins sucks under the lights, and
that is true.
The Bears are going to absolutely dominate this game. So my lock is the Bears.
That's hilarious. I feel like that's everywhere. Like Kirk Cousins sucks in primetime. I feel like I saw it everywhere. I saw for just researching this game. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bears by 1 million, even though they're the underdogs. I'll take the money line. I'll take the Bears plus 2.5. I'll take both. Fuck Kirk Cousins in primetime. So
is this your lock too, right? Because you haven't used
no,
one either.
my lock was the Raiders.
You locked early on. Yeah.
Oh, which one was yours? Raiders?
Yeah.
Mine was the Raiders. Yeah. The Raiders -5.
I'll add that there. Okay. Cool.
Go Bears.
I'm not gonna lock it. It's obviously necessary.
Did you have a lock?
No,
he locked the Ravens. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Let me add that note for your lock. Okay, so we've all used all our locks and skips at this point. I am going to take the Bears to cover.
Cover
the Vikings.
Or win? Come on, give them the win.
I don't know, man. So if I had to pick, probably to win a close game. The Vikings are probably overrated right now. So Dalvin Cook had a historic 500-600 yard 2-game stretch. I think there's a good chance the Bears win the game, so I'll definitely take them with the points. I think after what they did to Derrick Henry, they're going to be able to at least limit the damage with him. And yeah, I have no faith in Kirk Cousins at quarterback. So I don't know that this is a big signature win for the Bears or anything, but I think that there's a good chance they win a close game.
Awesome. Well, yeah, Richie, you said Bears, right?
I said Bears, yep.
So I think we got through all our picks. So the last thing we have to do, we've done all of our point spreads. The last thing we did is this episode, as mentioned a couple times by Richie, is sponsored by Thrive Fantasy. And Thrive Fantasy, they have all sorts of prop picks. So we've all selected a prop pick of the week from the Thrive Fantasy app. So be sure to go download that and use code FNFantasy when you sign up, and they'll match you up to $50 with your minimum deposit of 20 or more. So, Richie, do you have your prop pick selected for the week?
Yes. So my prop pick is Drew Brees. So the over/under was 267.5 total pass yards. Taking the over on Drew Brees.
Nice. I like that. For me, I've always talking about my loyalty, being high on the Raiders, being high on the Bills. A specific player I've been high on since they played the Bears last year is Washington's Terry McLaurin. He's in every single one of my fantasy leagues because I felt like he was good value at where I drafted him. Yep. And he's performed pretty well this year. He's honestly, to me, their primary weapon. And his over-under was at 0.5 receiving touchdowns. So because he's their primary weapon, I really like him to get a touchdown this game. Especially against the Lions secondary is not like amazing. So I like the over of Terry McLaurin scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Mine I just picked is Jonathan Taylor over 53.5 yards. So he came off a rough week where he just had 22 yards last week, but he would have hit that over the previous 5 weeks before that. And I think the Titans' run defense is maybe a little overvalued after the Bears game.
Overall is bad.
Because like obviously you beat the Bears. Bears don't run for much, but I think that says more about the Bears' run game and offensive line because the Titans' defense is not good. And going into the Bears game, everyone's talking about how bad their defense is. So I think Phillip Rivers has some trouble. They kind of lean on the run game, and it seems pretty easy for me to pick Jonathan Taylor with 53. So,
Well, with that, we got through our point spreads. We got through our special guests. We got through our prop picks of the week. And that brings us to our first conclusion of the first episode of the Shoot Your Shot Scorecast for this week. So we're going to have, parts of this show put out as the games come up. We're going to have the graphics put out. So you can help us keep score in terms of like who's getting their picks correct. And we're going to update you on scores next week when we get together. Please subscribe to our channel. Check out our other shows, Off the Cuff, Frustration Nation. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Richie Chicago, at Furious George 94, and at Michigan Hat. We all have a bunch of dumb commentary on games. Richie does like food reviews. I like to, just complain about various Chicago things. And man, the Michigan Hat has just been railing Michigan lately. So it's all
railing Michigan.
Yeah.
Mostly been just like memes making fun of my own teams. Yeah.
It's a good time. So follow us there. With all the uncertainty that's in the world, the one thing that is certain is our predictions. So before I let you guys go, just a quick announcement. This show will continue to be live every Wednesday. However, we have a special shortened, probably like 15-20 minute edition of the Scorecast coming out this coming Monday. Probably around at 9. And we're going to do a Scorecast pick of the NBA draft. So tune in for that on Monday. Yeah, that'll be great. Michigan Hat's a Pistons fan, so he's got the 7th pick. Richie and I, being Bulls fans, we got the 4th pick. So definitely some interesting things to talk about. Tune in on Monday for that. So we'll see you on Monday, and we'll see you next Wednesday for more correct picks.
Awesome. I just want to shout out everyone else on the team. Big Dad Drew, Jimbo Slice, thanks for coming on again. And Jimbo Slice is a new podcast, Jam with Jimbo Slice, every Monday. And this is a new show too. So Dad Bod Central is done for now, but we have this. So this is more sports, more action for you guys. So we'll see you guys next week.
And thanks to Sir Yacht.
Thanks, Sir Yacht. Thank you. Oh, there goes my Siri. Sorry. Let me end
Seriously?
Sorry, Siri.
Furious George.